难受啊！我就不说话出口了。
It's all covered in today's China Truths.
China, both north and south, has recently been hit by a double whammy of extreme weather, drought, and flooding. Torrential rains in southern China have caused severe flooding in Dongguan, Guangdong, Beijing, Shenzhen, and other areas. Meanwhile, parts of Henan Province in the north are experiencing drought conditions so severe that even shovels cannot dig into the soil. Heaven, it's been over 2 months without a single drop of rain. The earth is cracking. The sky looks tired of weeping, and we, who live off the land, have nothing left. The fields are barren, our hands are empty, and no one wants the scraps we managed to grow. God, if you're listening, look this way. Henan is drying up, and the suffering is far from over. The temperature is over 40 degrees Celsius. In many places, it reaches up to 44 degrees, causing everything to dry up, crops to fail, and a shortage of food. Is this the beginning of a period of crop failure and hunger? Is famine approaching? The corn has curled up like paste, and the fishermen have lost everything too. For over 2 months, temperatures have stayed above 40 degrees. Neither the corn nor the people can take it anymore. We are drenched in sweat. I roasted a few peanuts and barely harvested anything. There aren't enough seeds, not enough aid, and all the labor has gone to waste. Last year we were flooded, and this year it's drought. What can we possibly do now? Henan is clearly in drought. The rivers have dried up completely, and there is still no sign of rain. Some don't even know which river this once was. It's just barren land now. How pitiful. My hometown is over there, and it's also been dry for weeks. No rain, no rivers. People from Jumadian are suffering just as badly. This drought needs more attention. Everyone is talking about the floods in Beijing, but no one knows about the drought in Henan. Can you imagine just how dry it is here? Since early July, Henan has felt like a giant steamer. Temperatures have reached a shocking 44 degrees, and there has been barely any rain. The drought is worst in places like Joku and Jumadian. People rush out in tractors to pump water from rivers into their fields, but the rivers are already dry. Fish ponds have turned to cracked mud, and wells no longer yield water, only yellow silt. The ongoing high temperatures and severe drought are threatening the entire harvest. Crops are on the verge of total failure. I'm 76 years old, and in my 70-plus years, I've never seen anything like this. The dry riverbanks in Jumadian tell the story of a once-in-a-century drought. Many villagers are trying everything they can to draw water and save their land, hoping they can at least salvage a small portion. Dead crops can be seen everywhere. In places where people can't reach a well, they pull water with buckets. But a single bucket of water only covers 4 square meters. Still, the farmers refuse to give up on the crops they worked so hard to plant. Even though they water day and night, it's not enough to save their land. According to locals, they haven't seen drought like this in over 40 years. The wells are almost completely dry. Even tap water has stopped. Drinking water is becoming a problem, let alone washing or doing laundry. A farmer posted a video saying he had watered his fields 4 times, but had to abandon his peanut planting due to water shortages. A farmer in Jumadian said it hadn't rained in 2 months, and the land was so dry he couldn't even dig with a shovel. Village elders said they had never seen anything like it in their 80s and 90s. One old farmer dug a pit for 20 minutes and waited an hour. Then he dug another 10 minutes and waited again, hoping water would seep up. This is Dongguan town. It's incredibly difficult here. Truly, it's heartbreaking. Just look around. Everything is dry and dead. Even the corn is rock hard. While southern China is battling massive floods, Henan is dying from drought. China is being hit by disaster after disaster. Floods, plagues, droughts, and earthquakes. In Henan, extreme heat and drought have come hand in hand. In some areas, there's no water to irrigate crops at all. People can only watch helplessly as their corn dies. Locals say the unrelenting heat has scorched the land, and the lack of rain is causing deep worry. The crops are finished. Rivers have vanished. Even the air feels like it's burning. The cornfields are dead. Farmers who have been watering day and night have broken down in tears. According to Xinhua news agency, Henan has been experiencing persistent high temperatures since July, with some areas exceeding 40 degrees Celsius for several consecutive days. Multiple media outlets, including China National Radio, have reported that precipitation in Henan has dropped by at least 70% this year. 16 regions in the province are facing severe drought, or worse, and at least 3.23 million mu of land can no longer be cultivated due to the dry conditions. The extreme weather has sparked public concern. Many netizens have commented, "Those hit by drought are dying of drought, and those hit by floods are dying of floods. The rain in Guangdong is insane." The rivers in Shenzhen are nearly overflowing. Can't some of that water be distributed more evenly? People in Henan really can't take this severe drought. When we talk about Henan's drought, we can't ignore northern Anhui. It's only slightly better. One is in extreme drought, the other in severe drought. They're both in the same boat. Other netizens pointed out that Henan is one of China's major grain-producing provinces, accounting for nearly 1/10 of the national grain output and over a quarter of the country's wheat. As a key agricultural region, they urged authorities to take the drought seriously. While the north suffers from severe drought, the south is facing the opposite disaster. In recent days, Guangdong and Guangxi have been hit by extreme and prolonged rainfall. Torrential downpours have flooded roads, submerged vehicles, and paralyzed cities. The relentless rain has triggered widespread flooding and other related disasters. Local netizens sarcastically remarked that the sky has fallen on the two provinces. Online videos show city centers in Dongguan and Shenzhen completely underwater. Numerous shops and factories have been inundated, suffering massive financial losses. Guangdong has endured continuous heavy rain for several days, and in the early morning hours of August 5th, the downpour peaked, submerging Dianguang village in Tangxia town, Dongguan city. Floodwaters overran streets and alleys, with strong currents sweeping debris along the way. At around 9:24 a.m., a car lost control while passing through the Daling ancient culvert in Tangxia town and was swept into deeper water. Water poured into the vehicle, trapping the driver due to excessive pressure. I had just arrived when I saw a car lose control. I heard someone shouting for help, and since I could swim, I jumped in. Pan Yongbin, who helped with the rescue, told Xin Kuaibao. The water where the car was swept away reached an adult's neck. Residents nearby, seeing the car struggling, called on swimmers to help. However, due to the intense water pressure, the car door couldn't be opened. Eventually, everyone worked together to pry open the trunk and pull the driver out. Pan Yongbin said the water had almost reached the roof of the car, and the driver had to press his forehead against it just to keep his nose above water. He said he couldn't breathe, and that just a few seconds later, he would have died. The driver said he was driving from Shenzhen to Dongguan and, unfamiliar with the road conditions, mistakenly entered a flooded area. After being rescued, he was not seriously injured and stayed behind alone to deal with the aftermath. In addition to Tangxia town, netizens reported severe flooding in Huangjiang, Jiangmutu, and Changping, with videos of submerged areas circulating widely online. One viral video showed large numbers of tilapia on the streets of Shenzhen after the heavy rain. According to the netizen who posted it, a fish pond had overflowed and the fish were washed onto the road. Cleaners later swept them back into the pond, but the rain continued. On August 6th, the topic, "Large numbers of tilapia found on Shenzhen roads after heavy rain," began trending on Weibo. The Dongguan Meteorological Observatory issued a major bulletin at 5:33 a.m. on August 5th. From the morning to the night of August 4th, Dongguan experienced widespread heavy rain, with some areas seeing extremely torrential downpours. The city's average rainfall reached 134.2 mm. 30 towns and sub-districts recorded over 100 mm, with 6 exceeding 250 mm. The highest total rainfall was 431.7 mm in Jiangmeitu, followed by 360.9 mm in Huangjiang. The highest single-hour rainfall was 127.8 mm in Huangjiang. Heavy to torrential rain is expected to continue throughout August 5th. On the morning of the 6th, Wednesday, widespread rainfall is expected to again blanket Zhanjiang, Maoming, Yangjiang, Jiangmen, Foshan, Guangzhou, and Qingyuan in Guangdong. Northern Guangdong and other areas will also experience heavy to torrential rain. The rain is expected to subside by Thursday, the 7th. However, as the subtropical high-pressure system retreats southward, Guangdong will soon face hot, sauna-like weather.
Across cities and villages, from Guangdong's skyscrapers to Henan's dusty towns, a silent nightmare is unfolding. People walk into banks and walk out with nothing. ATMs don't work, online banking freezes, and for millions of Chinese citizens, a terrifying realization is sinking in. Their life savings may be gone. Lines of desperate customers snake outside shuttered branches. Protesters hold up signs begging for access to their own money. On social media, videos surface, then disappear, showing elderly citizens banging on locked bank doors, live streamers being dragged away, and whispers of system upgrades, masking what many now believe is a full-blown liquidity crisis. For decades, the Chinese banking system appeared unshakable, state-backed, party-controlled, and too big to fail. Rural banks served farmers and pensioners. Giant lenders supported real estate, infrastructure, and local governments. Trust was never questioned. Until now, behind the facade, a slow collapse has been brewing. Years of reckless lending, shadow banking, and toxic investments in failed property ventures have hollowed out the system from within. Smaller banks in provinces like Henan, Hebei, and Shandong lured depositors with high returns now exposed as unsustainable. As the property bubble burst and debts piled up, cracks became canyons. Authorities tried to plaster over the problem, injecting cash, merging weak banks, censoring bad news, but the dam has broken. Henan's village banks were the first to freeze withdrawals. Officials blamed IT maintenance. Then came silence. Weeks passed. People protested. Some were beaten, some vanished. Still, the withdrawals never resumed. Now the crisis is no longer local. Daily ATM limits have dropped to as low as 300 yuan, around 40 USD. Transfers fail without warning. Balances appear altered. Some accounts are flagged for unusual activity, simply for holding over 10,000 yuan. Even fixed deposits are being locked up under vague legal excuses. One viral post from Shenzhen showed a bank notice freezing withdrawals above a certain threshold. The account was banned within hours. Others report similar experiences, but few dare to speak up. The message is clear. China's banking system is no longer untouchable, and for ordinary citizens, what once felt secure now feels like a trap. China's financial meltdown has quietly begun, but no one is allowed to say it. Across China, fear is spreading faster than any official announcement. In the early hours before sunrise, lines form outside bank branches. Desperate citizens, young and old, withdraw small amounts from multiple banks, hoping to avoid triggering suspicion. Some convert their savings into gold, foreign currency, or digital assets, despite Beijing's harsh bans on crypto. And it's not just individuals. Small businesses are suffocating.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.